we are going to go live, of course, for our Sunday chat. So every Sunday at 11 a.m, that is Melbourne Eastern Standard Times, we will be going live. And I do have my glasses on because if you leave comments, I can't read them without my glasses, but I'll take them in and off. But anyway, that's what we're doing today. And we're going to be talking about, your websites. We will also talk about the insurance. That is something a lot of people ask me about. I won't give exact things because I'm not an insurance agent, but all of these things we'll be talking about at the conference as well. And also let's talk about the links and the companies that I use. So I'll give you all of my links as well. Hi, Mark. How are you? Welcome on this little cold Sunday chat for Melbourne because it is rather cold in Melbourne at the moment. So it's terribly cold. Oh, good morning, Trish. How are you, my love? Welcome. So now, like I was saying today, we are going to be talking about, the dreaded things that no one wants to talk about, like insurance and so on. Hi, Kim. Welcome. And, of course, Shopify. And then I will give you a list of all the different links that I have used because over time, I've actually found it really, really hard to find lots of companies as well. I'm great, Trish. I am great. I'm going out to my daughter's birthday dinner tonight, so that will be really lovely. My one of my older daughters. So yeah, so now let's get started, everybody, and everyone else can catch up a little bit later, and I know that they will because we always have people watch this back at a later date. So now we're going to be, well, let's start off with the one that no one wants to talk about. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, thank you, Trish. Yeah, so the one that a lot of people can't stand talking about is insurance, but it is really important. And if any of you actually watch a company called Missouri River, and her name is Holly that does all the YouTube videos. I love Holly. She's really calming and just lovely. But she was actually saying she's been in a little bit of an insurance issue or somebody trying to sue her or something at the moment. She's going to talk about that later. So that was really interesting for me. But hearing her talk, and as she was saying, she was even shaking. And, like she did get out of it. But, whoever it was huge companies suing. And in America at the moment, it seems that is a thing. A lot of people are talking about big companies trying to sue little companies to basically crush them. So I don't know how true that is, but that is something that I've had lots of soapers talk about at the moment, which is terrifying. And I think the only thing we're really lucky with in Australia is we don't seem to have that as much. Thank goodness. But if you want one that's really calming and really knows her stuff, go and check her out, which is Mo River. And like I said, I really love her. I've watched her for a long time. And she's just really, she just says it as it is. She works from home and that's what she says. I'm a small business. I work from home. I don't have a factory and so on. So she's great to watch. Good morning, Karen. So, so go and watch her. She's very good. Now let me get my drink because I'm going to choke. I feel like I've been talking for days, which I haven't been because I didn't do last Sunday, but I've done so many videos and been editing so many, and I'm actually doing a thing on, hi, Miriam. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's great. I love Mo River. So now I've been doing so many videos. So if I lose my voice, I'm sorry. But anyway, now let's get into insurance first. So a lot of people ask me, do I actually need insurance? Like I'm small, I only make a few things. Yes, you do. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it really doesn't matter whether you're small or not. If you're giving things to your friends, if you're giving things away or selling it, you should have insurance because you'll be amazed the amount of people that have actually sued a friend. So you might think, oh, I'm being nice. I'm giving this to my next door neighbor. We're pretty close, but you just don't know. So, and some insurance is pretty cheap. Hi, Lisa. Welcome, lovely. Welcome. So, and that's the thing too, everybody. It's just really, really important to have insurance. And, look, insurance is not that expensive. It really isn't. So just, speak to a few different people and see how you go with insurance. And at the conference in 2023, we will be having a guest speaker for insurance. I can't announce any names yet because we're talking with some people, but that is something that we'll definitely be talking about as well. Hi Novella, how are you, my love? Welcome to our channel and thank you for subscribing. Actually, I've got to tell everyone, I think I hit the 5,000 subscribers maybe, I'm going to say maybe 9 days ago or something. I can't remember. But so I think like in 9 days, we've had like 260 subscribers, which is huge. I mean, we're really shocked. But we're grateful, very, very grateful to all of you. But yeah, look, I always say, you never know where you're going to go, everyone. I started this hoping I'd get 50 people. So, you just don't know. But anyway, like we said, insurance, you definitely need it, everybody. So just go, and the best thing to do is no matter what country you're in, just ring up a broker. Ring up a broker and say, this is what I do. You need to tell them what you do. And you know what, everybody? Where you buy your containers, whether you're following certain rules, where you buy micas, if they're legitimate, if they're approved, that all has to do with your insurance. So you need to basically have the background first. So you need to know, a lot of companies won't allow you to buy products from China. Some in Australia, some of them won't insure you if you're doing that. So these are the things you need to know. You need to know what supplier you're buying them from, where they're getting them from. Are they glass? Are they plastic? Fragrances, who are you getting from? Are they FDA approved? There's so many things like that you really do need to know. But speak to them because it can be as little as a few coffees a month and you've got your insurance. And I know we all think we might never be sued, but you may be. And you just never know. And you don't want to lose everything because you haven't done that one thing. So that's what I suggest. Speak to, just a broker. And I'm a disclaimer, I am not an insurance agent or anything like that. I'm a soap maker just like everyone else, but I just know how important it is. And sometimes if you bring in new products, you need to tell them, am I still insured for that? Or if you do markets, am I insured? Do I have indemnity? All of those kind of things that you really do need to know. So you need to tell them what you're doing and what my insurance is won't be the same as everyone else's insurance because they're all really, really different depending on, what you do within your business. So that's one thing as well. Another thing people ask me is, oh, well, because I'm a small company, a big company's not going to sue me, are they? Well, yeah, they will. They can. Doesn't matter how small you are. If, and you've got to remember this, that you've got massive corporations worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. They don't want all of us small people because the one thing I have actually noticed, most people I'm starting to talk to, like even just new buying my products, they're saying we don't want to buy from a big company anymore. We want to buy from a small company that really cares, that we can talk to, that if there's an issue, we can come back and say, what do I do? So that's one thing that I'm getting a lot from people. So, and big companies, they have people employed to look at these things. So they'd be looking at that going, hey, and you look in America, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of soap makers, candle makers, and small businesses are popping up. So these big companies, I reckon, would be starting to say, oh, gee, 1 or 2 small companies isn't bad. But when you've got dozens and dozens of them, then they'd start to think, oh, no, we're actually losing 10% or 7% or whatever. Because they have people analysing, the growth, the pros, cons, growths, and so on within their company. So that's really important to remember. Just because you're small doesn't mean you're not important. And these big companies will look at you as a small company and think, oh, we don't want them to get too big. So that's something that I've definitely noticed. But as I said, a disclaimer, this is all just my opinion and from a little bit of research that I've done as well. And another thing is, people have said, well, why would someone sue me? I'm just small. It's not about you personally. And that's what you got to remember. It's not a personal thing. It's usually on a business thing. I mean, yes, if you make a soap that is lie heavy or something and hurt someone, of course you'll be sued for that. But if you've got insurance, you don't need to worry. As long as you have done all your due diligence, you have tested your product, you're trying everything. And I will tell you, everybody, so at the moment, I'm actually making these like little soap. These are my new soaps that I'm making, and they're guest soaps. But what I do is, if you can see this one, it's like half soap. That is my testing one. I always do a testing one, and then I will test that. So before I even put this on the site, which won't be on my site for well over a month, I'll start to actually test this. So, and I have actually tested a couple of different bars, but that's what I mean. You do need to test all that, and that's a part of your insurance. They'll ask that, have you tested things before they go out? And if you say no, well, that's a problem. And the same as, if somebody rings up and says, hey, my candle's not working, or, this soap isn't what I think it is, honestly, my advice is give them a new one. Just say, look, we're so sorry. Customer service is so important to us. We'll give you a new one. And that's the thing, same as, if somebody leaves a bad review about you, just, reply back. Just say, hey, I'm really sorry you're not happy. We're trying our best. We appreciate the feedback. We'll do better in future. Can we offer you something, for you to try and see what you think? Like, it's always worth going back to somebody and talking about that. And this, whether we're talking about insurance, whether we're talking about the product or whatever, it all is based on, your customer service and just trying to make your business as good as it is. And can I tell you, the most common thing people say to me is they say, I buy from you because if I've had a problem, you've always replaced it. Or if something breaks, I replace it. No questions asked. I don't wait till I get my insurance back for it. So if I send something that breaks, which I've had that only once, but if that happens, I'm like, no problem. I'll send you one straight away. We'll send it back to you. And look, I had one in America where a product actually broke. Only one of the products broke, but when they got it, the box was ripped to pieces and everything. But, and even though I actually lost probably $80 in that order all up, like I was actually in the negative, but it doesn't matter. It made my company look better to say it's no problem. We'll replace it. Don't worry. And that's what you need to do, no matter where you're selling, and no matter whether it's a market or whatever. If someone buys at a market and something happens, I just replace it. And I mean, look, if you get the same person several times, then you need to say, look, can I have a photo, please? Because they might be sort of being a bit shifty. But generally, people are not going to go out of their way and ring you and carry on about it. But if you end up saying, no, I'm not replacing it, that's your problem, they'll give you a bad review. So it's not just about the product. Just think about the holistic view of why you're going to give a refund. And if someone's rude, do you know what I do? I don't even give them the time to respond back to me. I'm just delete the comment. And what I do on my Instagram is I go through all of my feed on my Instagram. If people say things like promote it, I just remove the comment, and I don't reply. Yeah, thank you, Mark. I agree. I just think, you just need to really think of the holistic view. It's not just, and I know, look, it's really annoying when you get it or it's hurtful because, we're so passionate about our businesses that, you get really hurt when someone says, oh, I hate that, or I don't like it, or something's no good. It is really hurtful. But at the end of the day, you've got to step back and go, okay, I'm a business person. Separate your personal decisions and say, okay, I'm a business person. What is best for my business? What's going to bring people back to me? Look, honestly, I've had people that have done 10, 20 orders. I've got some, well, not 20, maybe 11. I reckon maybe 11's the most. But, they've come back because if there's an issue, I'm like, no problem. So sorry, something's happened. Let me fix it. Even if it's not my fault or their fault. You need to do that. You just need to, be a business person. As my dad would say, put your big boy or girl pants on and, just go, okay, what can I do to fix it and make people come back? Because that's what it is. We want people to come back. They're the most important ones. And one of my daughters was a manager at KFC. And what they used to say at KFC is, the worst customer is not the one that yells at you and complains. It's the one that goes away and writes the bad review. So they used to say we would prefer people to come back, throw a tantrum and tell us what the problem is, because then we can fix it and they might come back. And then you fix the problem rather than lost the problem. So anyway, but I'm going off track, but I just thought I'll put that in as well. And one thing too that I wanted to sort of say to everyone too, it's okay to say no. If you get a wholesale customer or someone that wants wholesale and you don't think that your brand fits with the way they're displaying it or the way that they're going to promote it, you can easily say, look, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't fit with my brand. And that's something that I found really hard to say is no. And really only the last few months I've been able to feel like I can say no. And not that I haven't said no to a wholesale order, but what I'm saying is, whether it was to do with the conference, whether it's to do with sales, it's okay to say, no, this isn't going to work, or no, you're not going to do that. Because you have to think of your brand, and you have to sometimes, like I said, try and remove yourself a little bit from that. But if anybody does not understand insurance, at the conference, we will definitely have an insurance person there answering those questions, and we will go through that. But as I said, I can't give away any details on that because we are still working with a couple different insurance people at this stage. But that was something and this is what I'm saying too about feedback. The last conference, people said to me, we'd love to hear from like an accountant, a Shopify expert, an insurance broker. So we've listened to that, and the feedback from that was like, okay, we'll do that. The same as the feedback was, the audio wasn't perfect at the conference for people virtual. We understood that. So we're actually purchasing, an expensive camera that will zoom better and all of those sort of things, and we'll have mics and things like that. So that's what I mean. It doesn't matter whether it's a conference, whether it's soaping, whatever, just get the feedback and kind of go, okay, now what do I do from here? So, but once, so if you have not joined our email listing on the conference, make sure you join that, because anyone that's new that comes, we will actually announce that on that first. So I'll Patreon the same. I'll announce that first. We have a few very exciting announcements to make, but I can't do them yet, unfortunately, but there'll be some really good ones coming. And at the conference, we will actually have some trade booths, and some companies will actually have their products displayed on little booths in there. So kind of be almost like a mini trade fair. So if anyone has anything that they want to display, you can actually hire a trade booth from us at the conference as well. But just contact me on the email, which is through the conference, if anyone has any questions. Now, let's talk about Shopify. Shopify is number 2, on my list. Now, we need to talk about this because a lot of people say to me, we've got the Shopify account, but I've given up because it's so hard. I can't do it. And I'm not going to lie, it is hard. It's really hard. But if you're got your Shopify account and you're finding it hard, there's lots of companies that you can actually reach out to. And a little bit of a very exciting video coming up. I will have an interview with a Shopify expert, and we will actually be bringing that one live. Well, no, it won't be live. I'll pre-record it, and then I will actually be bringing that up. It will be a long one. So hopefully that's going to help everyone for that as well. And we are talking with people, hopefully, we're trying really hard to get a Shopify expert at the conference that will also be doing a bit of a talk. So, but if we get that, and if that happens, we will definitely let anyone know that is on the email list once again. So Shopify, you definitely need your site. You need to organize. But before you get a Shopify account, like this is the thing, you're getting charged $30 or whatever it is a month before you even sell anything. So I suggest before you get that, there's a few things that you actually need. Number one, you need your photos. So take some photos. You need to have a rough idea on the way you want to set it out, pages that you might want. So pages might be, you might talk about refunds on one page. You might talk about how the product works, mini videos, all of these kind of things on your Shopify account. And, look, I've seen some Shopify accounts that are amazing, really well done, that people have done themselves, but I've seen ones that aren't so great. And that's not because their product's not good. It's just, we've all got what I call, your areas of expertise, and Shopify is not mine. So, I do my site now, but I did have somebody to help set it all up. So that's super important as well. You also need to, and I do have another video coming up on how you can size your photos yourself on Shopify. how you can actually set it all up. So if you want to do it yourself, I actually do have a video which I show you through, and I work consistently with Canva in conjunction with Shopify. So those two together, I'll actually be helping to show you how you can actually get the two of them and they can gel together. And then hopefully you can do that. If anyone wants to know my web developer, I used a company in Australia called Boldzilla. So that's who I actually used. And now let's talk about the conference just quickly. On that, we do have a guest speaker on that. Who'll be making some cream products, and lots of you probably have seen her, and that will be Keely from Soy and Shay. She'll actually be one of the guest speakers. So she'll be on the Monday, because we have a Monday and a Tuesday. So she will be actually showing everyone how to do it and give the recipe as well. But you do need to be a virtual member or a physical member to be able to get the recipe from Keely, which will be, like I said, in conjunction with the day, but that will only be given on the day from Keely. So she will be one. Then we will also have Sud off making some bath bombs. Of course, with little old me, I'll be just assisting them making bath bombs. That will be another workshop. And we do actually have a number of workshops which I can't discuss yet because we get people to sign an agreement before. We also have another company called Suds and Cents. They will be there. They'll have a trade booth and they will talk to you all about, the wholesale side, purchasing things, how it all works, and so on. And if you go over to my site, you'll start to see all the links for all these different people as well. So just go over the conference and you'll be able to see that. And so on. So anyway, that's exactly how that bit's going to run. And on the conference, we do have a gala night on night 2. And every single year we're going to have a gala awards night, which means we give away a prize. So if you want to enter that competition, all you need to do is take a photo of your soap products. There's like a candle, soap, or bath bomb. And soap can mean wet soap. It can mean lots of things. You need to take a picture of it, and it needs to be set in the scene of gala. So it means a sparkly background or something. Send it to us, and you can win. So you win a prize plus a trophy with your company's name on it if you actually win. So that's something that we'll be doing. But that's for 2023. But you do need to get your photos in by the end of this year if you want to enter anything like that. So, but I will have more things on the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference website, and all the links are down below. Underneath each video, you'll see a link for that conference website. So just go over there and see. This year we'll also be giving away KitchenAid, which is very exciting. And we'll be giving away about $5,000 of prizes. But you do need to be a ticket holder to get it, and most prizes will be given to physical guests because we can't be shipping KitchenAids across the country. But anyway, that's just a little bit about that. Now let's talk about the links that I give away for my, that I use for my business. So if you're looking for micas and colorants and also water-soluble dyes, I use a company called Sud Off in Australia. And they do just really amazing ones. They've also started to bring in powdered dyes for candles, and I've used them. They're so strong and really, really beautiful. Like, actually, let me find one. I'll get you one. Now that I tell you that, I can't find it. So, but anyway, I do have like bright purple ones and so on from Sud Off. So go and check them out. Another one that I use, so if you're looking at fragrances, I use Pure Candle Supplies, but I use their luxury brand, not the mid brand. Hi Maria, welcome, lovely, welcome. So yeah, so you can try them. Also, I do use Aussie Candles as well. I use Aussie Candles for some of their fragrances. And then there's also Candle Supplies, Aroma, and iLux. I don't really use the last few very much at all. It's mostly Pure Candles and Aussie Candles are what I actually use. And also, if you're looking at getting like amber jars and things like that, mostly I use Aussie Candles because they are the best priced. You'll definitely get really, really good prices if you buy in bulk. And I always buy in bulk from them. Now, the other one, if you're looking at making like cosmetic sort of creams and you want all the different powders and things like that, I buy from N Essentials in Australia, and they do like all the cosmetic kind of oils, and so whether you want sweet almond oil, whether you want avocado oil, there's so many, like I can't say how many. They have hundreds and hundreds of products, definitely worth a go. And I use them. I also get my citric acid from them, and also the bicarb, and the bicarb is the best bicarb I can honestly suggest. It's smooth, it doesn't leave lumps and bumps, and it is definitely more expensive than other companies, but it is definitely an A-grade product. And I will tell you, I don't get sponsored or paid from any of these companies at all that I'm giving out. It's just companies that I like and that I've used. Also, all my butters come from Deluxe Shea Butter. So I generally use the cocoa butter and the shea butter. I usually use unrefined in both. And they do the mango butter, which I'm going to give a go. I haven't tried that yet. But there's fair trade. They are certified. They are A-grade shea nuts that they use. So that's why I do really love them. Another company, if you're looking at packaging, I use a company called Stanley Packaging in Victoria, Melbourne, Australia. And they are similar to, I think it's Uline actually in the US. I think it's similar to that. But they are really good, and I just really love their products. If you're looking to put vinyl on your candle jars, because do remember some products, with the heat of the candle jar, sometimes like those clear labels and that will bubble and aren't very good. So be careful with that as well. So I actually use printable vinyl, or you can use the cheaper label and you need to put contact over the top to, make them nice. So they're the ones I use. If you're wanting a professional sign for your business to make it look beautiful, these people actually made the massive one for the conference, and they'll be making more. And it's a company called Pink and Ink. So Pink and Ink Co. is who they are, and just amazing, like really, really good. I will actually put these in the link when the video loads. It takes a couple hours to load. And then, of course, everyone knows I love Canva. I have a pro account with Canva, and I swear by it. I use it all the time. And my most loved thing that I do on it is definitely removing the background and keeping the background transparent so that your product shines. And the easiest way to do that, honestly, everyone, is get a piece of white paper, just cheap paper, put your product on it, take the photo so it has no background, and then it will easily just remove that background. But I do have a video coming out showing you how to do that as well. And then I use Vistaprint in conjunction with Cricut or Cricut machine, because the Cricut machine is really good to cut them beautiful, and it gives that really like laser cut kind of gorgeous, surroundings on the outside. And that's what I do love. So when I do my candles, the Cricut will get almost like a kind of an eveny, like a round circle on the edge. And I really do love that, and it's so professional. And that's one thing a lot of people have said to me, how professional that was. And the good thing too with the Cricut machine is that actually, the one thing that is really, really good, I think, is it gives exact measurements. So you type in the exact measurements and you can change the sticker or the size that you've made to fit something. So that's something that I use with them. Also, if you're looking at printed tissue paper or a little bit of branding, I do use No Issue. They made my tissue paper, and it lasts for a long time. I know it's like I know it's a lot of money, but that does last for a long time. And now, one thing that a lot of people have been asking me for is where I get my diffuser boxes from. My diffuser boxes are not straight. So if you want to go to Aroma or any of these companies and just get a plain box one for your diffuser, they're like a box, and then they pivot at the top. Makes them look a little bit more fancy, and it's called biancoau.com, and that is their website if you want to go on and get them. They just make them in white, and then you can put your own labels on. And of course, Aroma do sell the basic ones as well, same as Candle Supplies do, Aussie Candles. I'm sure in America, Brambleberry and all of those companies do the same. They would also sell all of that as well. And lots of people ask me, I'm trying to see whether I've got any here. Oh, these little containers here that I use, and I often have those for all of my whip soaps and things like that. And they have like a safety seal because they're like food container. So those ones, I get them from a company called skpackaging.com.au, and they have so many containers. So you can buy them in anything. But if you're in another country, just look up safety sealed plastic containers. And these ones, you know, they're recyclable and all of that, but you've got to check all that because they're all different, all the PET plastics. But, you know, just make sure that you check all of those as well. But these are the companies that I personally use. So I hope that those kind of links are really good. I think I already, when I'm using like, this is a mold that I'm using at the moment, which this is just like my, it's dirty because I haven't washed it yet. I've just taken the soaps out. But this one is for my little sample soaps that I'm going to do for my wholesale clients. And these ones I get from a place called I Dream Cakes. And basically, and there's another one called Paradise Cakes in Australia. But if you're overseas anywhere, just go to any of your cake shops, tell them you want a silicone mold. And because silicone molds go in the oven, so they're like high temperatures, you can definitely put your soap mixture in them and you don't need to panic. And they come out easy. If you're doing a product, so let me show you something here. Now, these are my soaps. So if you can kind of see how smooth they look and like glycerine kind of at the top, these come out of silicone mold. But if you pop them in the freezer before you take them out, then they easily slide out of the molds. And then I just, you know, like these ones, these are just going to be left on the rack to cure because they're not cured. They need 6 weeks time. And, but yeah, that's something that you can do. So I'm just looking at my molds thinking where else. Also, I get all my wood wicks, which are called Pro Wicks from Aroma in Australia. But I know in other countries, I'm pretty sure Brambleberry have them as well, the wood wicks. And I love wood wicks because I just don't want the headache of trying to hold up the cotton wicks and everything else. But I will be bringing out a video of a massive big candle jar and a template on how you put the wicks in and so on. We'll definitely bring that out. I've got a number of videos lined up that will be coming out. So hopefully I can get onto all of them. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, I used to not be on it as much, but I'm trying to create like a community on that. So, and it's just Nelson Soapery. So you can go and look that one up and you'll find our Facebook group as well. And hopefully you love it. I know you will. And also like little boxes and things like that. Like I get heaps of different white boxes. So my body butters, like if you can actually see, if you can see these ones here in the background. So let me grab them. So these ones here are my beard butters. And if you can see this box, this is a small candle box. And then I just remove the insert out and put my own label on. So that's something that you can do. Don't think, oh, it's a candle box only for a candle. No, you can put other products in it as well. So that's one that I use. But one thing too that is really important to remember, you can't just get this product here and think, well, I'm going to just go and send this in the mail like this. And I've seen that happen. This needs to go in a box or it needs to have bubble wrap or something on it. So don't just send these kind of boxes in the mail because they'll get destroyed and then someone will get all cranky with you. So do remember that as well. And I'm just trying to think of all of my other containers because I get asked all the time. Oh, my molds. I have lots of molds from Cater Mold if you're thinking of bath bomb molds, and that's in America. So I have heaps of Cater molds and I do love them, but Cater molds have a different recipe. You need them to be more wet to have success with the Cater mold. I've definitely found that. And they are really, really good. And I also do use the Express Bath Bomb hand machine, and I do have some of their molds. Now, some of their molds are $80 a mold in Australia, but can I tell you, I've had it for years. It's not broken. It's really, really good. So if you're trying to find some molds and things like that, that's what I use. And I wrap all my candles in a foam because people have been asking me this. If you go back, you'll see one of my videos. And the candles, what actually happens if you wrap them like in a foam after you do it and make them look all nice, it actually acts as more like an insulation as well. So the sun's not hitting the candle direct, the same as the cold. And that's what I actually really like with wrapping mine in foam as well. And there's lots of biodegradable resources around as well. And I pack all of mine really well with the bio peanuts. And the bio peanuts, I buy them in, I think it's, I'm going to say 400 litres, I can't remember, bags. They're massive bags. They're taller than me. But they're pretty cheap. They're only like $36 for a massive bag. So do make sure that, you know, you're packing everything super duper well, everyone. So I hope today has been really helpful for, like I said, talking about insurance, Shopify, some business tips, and some little things that you need to do. Oh, and also I'll tell you, we did talk about doing reels a little while ago. So I've started on my reels. And the good thing, what I actually like about doing reels on Instagram is seeing how they go. And I actually did have 2 of them that had, I'm going to say maybe 5,000 views each, something like that. And I really believe a lot of it is the algorithm picking you up. But I do believe after watching, I did watch a really good video. If you Google it on YouTube, it's like how to be successful on Reels, I think it was called. And that was really good. And it was just about tips. So it was YouTube giving tips on how to do that as well. Yeah, Sunshine Soap. I did talk about her, Bronwyn, a little bit back about being sued. Yeah, and you are definitely right. 100% you are right. She did talk about that. And that's what I mean. I think she's a bigger company than some of the others. She has a lot of followers, but she's still small. But, you know, that's the thing. You know, sometimes it can be a name or anything else. But I really do feel, and a lot of Australians will agree, that we just see it in America. They seem to be sued a lot more than Australia. A lot of these things in Australia, I think, would be thrown out of court, you know, unless you have blatantly, you know, stolen someone's design or name. But you don't see a lot in Australia. Not to say it won't happen. It definitely could happen easily. But we definitely don't see it as much here. Maybe because we're a smaller country. I don't know. But the one thing that I would say is if your business is really taking off, look at trademarking it. And I know that's really expensive because I'm looking into all of that at the moment. It's just so expensive. But if you don't do it and someone can just come in and try and grab your name. So that's the problem. But, I don't know. It's really hard because I think we're just new and we just don't know how to do it. Oh, the Ugg boot. Yes, you're right, Bronwyn. You know, for anyone that doesn't know, Ugg boots in Australia are, like sheepskin boots. And that you wear like slippers or boots. And they're very, very popular. And they've been around for decades. And another company literally is just trying, a big company is just trying to like literally ruin them, like destroy them. And the poor guy that's done it is almost broke. I don't know whether he's broke yet, but I think he'll go broke. And he's been in and out of court for years. And it's sad because everyone knows him of making them. And they were handmade here. But a big company with lots of money and a big legal team have come in and literally tried to crush him. And that's literally what it is. Big companies come in and they just try and crush you. So it's really hard. I don't know what the solution is, but, the thing is we could all shut up shop and be quiet, but that's what they want, these big companies. And I just don't like the fact of huge companies having the monopoly over everyone else. To me, I think that's a problem. Now I don't care what industry it is. I just think if one company has a monopoly, it's no good. And years ago in Australia, I used to own a childcare centre. And there was a company called ABC that they're bankrupted now. But they were going around buying all the childcare centres. They literally had the monopoly. They could do what they want, charge what they want. And there was nothing you could do about it because they were so big and they just literally were crushing all the small centres and trying to buy them all up. And that's exactly what happens. And I don't know what happened, why they went out of business. I can't remember. But that's just another example of, people with lots of money, millionaires or billionaires, they come in and try and do this. It's really hard. Well, that's right, Bronwyn. You are 100% right. And if you are trying to do trademarking, everybody, I would definitely suggest that you contact a company that specializes in that and do not do it yourself. because it's too hard. And from what I understand, if you do it yourself and make a mistake, then it's much, much more costly. And it's in the thousands of dollars. It really is. So I looked into it a while ago and I just thought that's just so expensive. I mean, I have no plan on being a multi-million-dollar company. You know, it's not who I am. For me, I like teaching. You know, that's something I really like. I like teaching and helping and, you know, that kind of side. And then I sell my products just a small amount to different gift stores and barber stores and so on. But, you know, if your company's earning $100,000 or anything, I would definitely look at trademarking that. I think you must trademark it 100%. So, yeah, but, you know, like I said, get some advice from somebody because I'm not an expert. And these are things that we're going to be talking about at the conference. So if you don't have your ticket, you must get one because I'm telling you, these are the things that everyone needs to know. And I was also watching Mrs. Soap and Clay. Well, that's right, Kim. You're 100% right. Yeah, you're right. But Mrs. Soap and Clay, what was she talking about? See, now I've lost my train of thought. You know? She was just talking the other day about all these things in business and how 10% of the business is the fun bit, which is making, and 90% is the bit we don't like, which is, you know, your insurances, your banking, your taxing, you know, the tax agents, the paperwork, just all the phone calls, the emails, the sending out, the packaging. That's what is super duper important. So that's the thing that I think is really important. So, you know, my daughter's just come in the room, so she's like, I'm sorry, Mum. But anyway, she's got out now. She's helping me clean up inside, which is nice. But yeah, so that's what I mean, everyone. You know, it's great to have an idea to make soap or to make candles or whatever, but you do have to remember that only a small portion is the fun stuff. And the big portion is the stuff none of us love. And if you're not good at some of those, you need to start to either learn and teach yourself, like watching many videos like I've done, or you need to pay someone. And she talks about paying someone, but at the start, I couldn't afford that. You know, and you can't afford it. It's really hard. Even now, like on my YouTube or Patreon, like you don't get paid a lot of money. People think if you make a video, you get paid $100, but you don't. Some videos I've made have made like 10 cents. So that's what I mean. Like it doesn't mean that you actually make money. You don't. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But I just thought we needed to kind of talk about that because a lot of people think you come into it, or you know, I even have people that buy products from me and they think if they buy it and they're going to sell it, then they'll make a lot of money. And then they don't. And then they're like, why can't I? But as I say, you know, it doesn't matter who it is. You need to build a trust with an audience or your target market. And once they love it, then they come back. But, you know, if I did, like even on my YouTube, if I was talking about something that was no interest, you know, or you didn't feel it was valuable, well, you're not going to watch the video. Like you want to watch it that's valuable. And then, of course, as we go on, we all become friends and we create this, you know, amazing community. But before that, you kind of have to like what you're seeing. And it's the same with soap. You got to remember, they can't smell it online. They can't even feel it. They're just trusting that little image. So anyway, but that's, you know, very, very important when we're doing all of these things, aren't they? But I hope everybody has enjoyed our Sunday chat. I know it's not an exciting topic, talking about the insurance and the, you know, the business rubbish side that I really don't love. But, you know, you really do need to understand that side as well. And also, everybody, if you have a YouTube or a Patreon, even though I'm an Australian, we still get paperwork, like taxation paperwork to fill out for the US because, you know, people are paying us from other countries. So it's not as simple as, you know, just putting a video and they pay you. There's a lot in between that you actually have to do, you know, so it's really tricky. Oh, what do I think about the UK assessments of all their recipes? You know, Bronwyn, I feel really sad for people in the UK. I really do, because I think they have it so much harder than anyone else. You know, when you think about All right, we'll talk about this, for instance. Okay, so I'm going to make this soap. Say I'm in the UK. I'll say I'm going to make this soap. This is cool, but I want to make this in, 15 different fragrances and so on. Well, I'm going to have 15 assessments. That's pretty hard. That is really hard. And can you imagine how many of these you have to sell to get your money back from the assessments? Not to mention the stress and everything that's involved. So I watch another lady, which I watch her every now and then, called I Dream Soap. And she talks about this, about the assessments and everything in the UK. And it's really hard. So that's a country I don't sell to. I don't sell to the UK because of all their assessments. And if you want to sell there, you need to do their assessments and everything. Otherwise, you can't send anything there. So please don't send to the UK, anyone, if you're making soap or anything like that, and you don't have assessments, because you need them. And because I'm in Australia, I don't understand them as much. And in Australia, we're similar to the US, I think. I'd say we're a little bit stricter than the US, but still very kind of on par with the US. We just need to register with chemical bodies and places like that when making soap, and keep batch numbers and records and things like that. But definitely not like the UK. The UK is very tough, very tough. So if you're from the UK listening, my heart goes out to you. I get it. I don't know how you amazing business people do it, because I just think it's very difficult. But if I was in the UK, honestly, I would do a selection of, say, 10 different or 20 different soaps, and I would stick to them, because then you've got your assessment and that's it. I would not change anything. I would just do the 10 assessments and that's it. So that way you've just got those ones and you just keep selling the same ones, which is hard, but that's how I would do it, so that you're not paying a lot of money, because you need to sell hundreds and hundreds of bars to get any money back for that. But anyway, I will let all of you go so you don't have to hear my husky voice for too much longer. And I will see you next Sunday, but you will see some more things come up as well. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. You're a darling. All right, I'll see everyone next week. Bye, everyone.